Hello, average engineers. Today I want to do a quick video about PR changes, pull requests, and more specifically doing small engineering changes. Small engineering changes mean a big win for engineers, and I just want to take a couple minutes to talk about why. I mean, honestly, PRs are like the elephant in the room, pull requests. At some places I've worked at, it was a nightmare. I had sweats, I'd have anxiety just opening the smallest pull request, because you're basically opening yourself up to a bunch of angry hornets to come and basically kill you. Other places I've worked, it's like whatever, no big deal. Most engineers spend a lot of time working on pull requests, either reviewing them or creating them, and yet people don't talk about them that much, and people don't talk about how much they hate them, and most people do. I honestly think there's nothing like pull requests that can embed anger, bitterness, mistrust, and general mayhem into an engineering team like pull requests can. And I have a couple ideas of just how to overcome these issues, and I just wanted to share them with you. The first thing I always tell people is that it's like a curve, right? There's the code that you should write, the code that you could write, and the code that you want to write. This is classic, especially for junior engineers. When it comes to making a change, you gotta keep it small and simple. Only do the bare minimum of what you need to do to make that code change in a pull request. That helps the person writing the code, writing the PR, to keep it clean and straightforward, and it helps the reviewers not to be confused. You're always going to want to throw stuff in there, do other stuff, keep it small, keep it small. Smaller code changes are easier to review for everyone. Smaller code changes are easier to reason about, and even if it's working in a complex environment, it's just easier to understand if you make small code changes instead of like wrapping a couple changes up into one, or throwing some formatting changes or fixing this bug at the same time. Don't do that. Open different pull requests for those things. You're more likely to get better and quicker feedback if your PRs are small, right? Rocket science. And there's fewer chances you're going to have those differences in opinions that drive people crazy on PRs. If you're doing all sorts of weird things, working on multiple problems, you're probably going to frustrate people, so it's going to be more likely for them to be picky. Keep it small, keep people happy. You'll probably get better results. I always have people say, well, if I'm working on a big change, I'm working on this big thing. Like, yeah, I know sometimes we have to have big pull requests. I know we're working on big projects, but you can still break that project up into small pieces, as you should be, and be releasing them slowly over time as you build it. So break it up into smaller logical pieces, even if it's a big project, and just open multiple small PRs that are adjacent. I didn't say 20, I mean maybe like 3. And if you absolutely need to have a big PR for whatever reason, it's a couple files with hundreds of lines of code, at that point you should probably have in a meeting a code review to go over the PR and to review it with people before or after you open the PR, like, hey, this is what's going on, let me walk you through this. And again, remember, don't throw extra changes in your PRs. Don't throw in formatting or non-essential changes. Do those separately. Don't muddy the waters. Don't fix bugs that are not related. Keep it on topic. As far as like automating some of the pain away, what I've found that a lot of people don't do that they should, use CI/CD to automate the linting and formatting of your code. Don't leave that up to the engineer, because it doesn't, you don't need to be doing linting and formatting in a PR. That should be done by CI/CD. That should not really be part of the change. You shouldn't have to be thinking about, hey, this needs to be formatted this way, or it shouldn't look like this, or this variable name is incorrect. Leave that up to the automated test. Focus on the business logic and things that are changing, the feature additions or deletions, etc. when doing the PR. Automate linting and formatting. And also be kind to a fault when you're reviewing a PR, responding to comments or making comments, whether you're creating the PR or you're reviewing the PR. Just be kind, be compassionate. Don't try to be the smartest person. Don't be mean. And also focus your PR review on the big picture of what they're trying to do. Don't focus on the incidentals, Keep that separate. If somebody's got a different style than you, so what? That's not the point. They're not asking you to review the PR, and you probably really shouldn't be reviewing the PR just based on your preferences. You should be really trying to understand the core problem that they're working on and trying to review that. Also, if there's things you feel like you need to comment on, just leave them as optional comments. Say, like, hey, I just thought you could know this for next time. You could do it this way, or this as our options. You don't have to be a jerk about it and say, I'm not going to approve the PR unless you do it my way. And also ensure your PR, if you're the creator, includes good screenshots, a good description section. Make sure it's all filled out. There's nothing worse than being tagged on a PR and opening it up and there's no description. It's just a bunch of code. Take some time to put some effort into your code, explain what's going on, explain the decisions you made and why you're doing it. That's going to make people review your PR so much better because it takes all the work off of them. It's just lazy if you just open a PR and don't put any effort into it, as around descriptions, images, snapshots, describing things, etc. And you should also drive towards an engineering culture that has clear expectations of PRs. It shouldn't be all over the board. It should just be documented, like this is what we expect out of a PR, and just hold everyone to it. Remember, use CI/CD to enforce the obvious stuff like linting and formatting. Don't waste your energy on that stuff. Explicitly encourage small PR changes with your engineering teams. Keep it small. Reiterate that over and over again. And build a culture that fosters learning and growth over being the smartest and perfect, and that will help the PR process go better.